Hello everyone, thanks for joining us here on Horizon. Well, in the past decade, Oklahoma has made great strides in improving the state's roads and bridges. A combination of federal and state monies has decreased the number of structurally deficient bridges in the state by almost 2/3. Yet Oklahoma still ranks in the bottom for states with rough roads and poor bridges, a problem that a nonpartisan group in the state says needs to be addressed. Joining me now with more on that story is our Shelby Farrell.
Well, Rob, the Oklahoma Academy is a statewide nonprofit advocacy organization that hosts yearly town hall events to bring attention to a variety of policy issues. And the group's focus this year is Oklahoma's transportation infrastructure. Getting stuck in traffic can be frustrating, and Julie Knutson with the Oklahoma Academy says the solution is broader than just our highways.
It isn't just roads and bridges, and it isn't just waterways or trains. It's all of the ways that we transport ourselves, products, or information. And so if Oklahoma is going to stay abreast and stay with the rest of the nation and the world in today's situation, then we need to be planning now for how we have an effective transportation infrastructure system.
And Knutson says the biggest hurdle to fixing our infrastructure: money.
We did make some suggestions as to things that could be looked at, and some of that involves taxes, of course, the dreaded word. But I think, as long as people are informed and understand transportation and infrastructure are things you rely on every single day, then not today or not tomorrow, but certainly within a reasonable time frame, we ought to be able to come up with some needed excess revenue or necessary revenue to further the cause of developing safer highways, better rail, even expanding rail in terms of passenger, just to help with costs sometimes of getting places.
Expansions like a commuter rail service between Oklahoma City and Tulsa. The Eastern Flyer began running daily on Memorial Day. Knutson says adding commuter trains to Oklahoma's rails is a move the Academy welcomes.
Way back in '98, the Academy recommended that not only do we put that back in place, get effective passenger transportation between the two major cities, but then once you get that done, then start building spokes out to other cities.
Oklahoma Senator Susan Paddock says now is a better time than ever for the comeback of railways.
There is a real interest in the rail, and I think as we see more congestion on our roads, the rail becomes more important to move products, to take that congestion off the roads. So I think there's a really vital role for rail to be played in our state at this time.
Knutson says one option could be renovating old, unused rails.
Well, and we have track across the state that years ago was dedicated for in fact, years ago was probably utilized as passenger rail as well as freight movement rail. But then it's not being used now, so it's a matter of can some of that rail be renovated or cleaned up or maybe repositioned a bit.
And with our roads becoming more crowded, rail may prove to be a valuable alternative.
All aboard!
And according to the group, no matter the route, the key to a successful, high-quality transportation infrastructure is a sustainable funding stream.
Now, Shelby, as I understand it, the amount of state taxpayer dollars going towards transportation has more than doubled in the past few years.
That it has. It is all a part of an 8-year plan to invest $6 billion into the state's roads and bridges. But state officials will tell you that because they have been underfunded for so long, there is still a long way to go.
All right, thank you so much, Shelby. Now, Oklahoma City is on its way to bring a streetcar system to downtown. Included in this year's budget is an operations manager's position to establish that service. Now, once completed, the downtown route will stretch about 4.5 miles and go as far north as 11th Street and as far south as Reno, connecting the St. Anthony Hospital campus to Bricktown and eventually expanding to OU's Medical Center and the MAPS 3 Park. Now, when we return, we'll take a closer look at how the Oklahoma Academy recommends we improve the roads and bridges around the state.